Welcome to Homelessness Chronicles. Today we have a very special guest with us, Dr. Stephanie Tine, owner of Flamingo Foot and Ankle. Please help me welcome Dr. Tine to the show. Dr. Tine, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Jeannie.
Of course. We're going to dive right in. Dr. Tine, can you tell us a little bit about Flamingo Foot and Ankle, what you do, where are you located?
Yep. So I own a private practice, and it is a foot and ankle clinic. So we treat anything from the knee down regarding feet. So we do surgery, conservative stuff to help you stay on your feet and keep walking. I started the business 2 years ago, approximately, and we've been growing. It is really a great place to work, and I'm really lucky that I have such amazing help too. I'm on staff at Holy Cross, some of the Broward hospitals, and Memorial, and we see patients all the way from little kids and infants to 100-year-old patients. So it's really fun. I love what I do, and I'm really happy that we met because we were able to kind of collab together.
Absolutely, and we're going to get into that in a little bit further in the show.
Yeah.
You've been a part of Showering Love, and you have came out and provided foot care to our unhoused guests. Can you share what you've experienced while working with this population in the community, particularly regarding the condition of their feet and the issues related to wearing the wrong size shoes? We've seen people in need wearing shoes that are way too small or way too big. Can you collaborate on that, please?
Yeah. So I see this a lot in my clinic too, but especially with our guests that we see at clinic, a lot of the times they're wearing shoes that just don't fit. And it's because that's the only pair of shoes that they have. So it's been really awesome to see us providing the right size fitting shoes for these patients so that they can get to walking without blisters and developing, infections and all that kind of stuff. Through your organization and then through my patients who have donated shoes, we've been able at each event to provide a free pair of, either new or gently used shoes for them. And it's really important to keep these people on their feet. That's their mode of transportation. And a lot of the times, especially in South Florida, it rains a lot. So what we saw a lot, especially our first clinic, was it had rained the day before and everyone's feet were waterlogged, which can lead to infection. And we want to prevent that because that can lead to hospitalization and all that kind of stuff if it gets worse. I think, providing well-fitting shoes for these people are really, can be life-changing.
It's so important. We want to thank not only Flamingo Foot and Ankle, but your patients who have, donated their very, very gently used shoes. There's a couple of cases that, that come to mind as I talk to you. And there was a gentleman, and you took his shoes off, and his toenail was probably an inch past his toe. He was wearing shoes that were 2 sizes bigger than the size he needed, right? And, I know that some of the guys are, ashamed to take their feet off. They just take their shoes off. And, he finally, trusted you to take his shoes off. You caught his feet, and just seeing that relief and getting him into a pair of shoes. And that's what I really, really admire about you is that, we bring out these new and used shoes, and you take the time to go over and make sure they're wearing the right width, length, height. You really pick out the best shoe for them. Because as you said, we travel by foot, and there's a lot of wear and tear. I've also been there when, where the feet have smelled like they're rotting or the toenails are they look like they're in excruciating pain. There's sores on there, the calluses that they have. And you and your team so gently lovingly, get their feet back to a condition that, that they're not in so much pain anymore. And, you really see them walk away happy and joyful. And, we want to thank you. You've participated with us in several times where Showering Love does its soul to soul event, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, we hope you keep coming out. It is so very important because I know from my own experience with homelessness, I had the same shoes always. I would wear them until there was literally holes through the soles, because I'd wear those thin shoes. And it's just what you do is incredible and your team's incredible. But let's get on to the next question.
Yeah.
Okay. How important is it to help unhoused people with their feet? Why is professional foot care critical for the guests experiencing homelessness?
Yeah. So the feet are very, very important. You don't realize until you're in a situation where you can't walk due to, pain or infection. So why I love coming to these events is we're providing a lot of preventative care and preventative maintenance, like cutting toenails and calluses that could, in fact, cause an ulcer. And especially with these patients who aren't healthy to begin with, or they have other pre-existing medical conditions, that makes them even more susceptible to infection. So that's one, really important. And then two, the foot pain that they experience. A lot of times shoe gear can be the main source of someone's pain. So what's really cool is fitting them for the proper shoe and making sure it's right for their foot type and all that kind of stuff can be, change their whole day. They can walk more, and like I think we had a patient that was like applying for a job or something, and like they had expressed that, oh, this is great. Like I have shoes now that I can like wear to an interview that don't look, run down. So that's the other like social component of it too.
Absolutely. So I have another question for you. Could you share with the audience your address? Where they could stop by and drop off either new or gently used shoes?
Yes. So we are right next to Holy Cross Hospital, and the address is 4801 North Federal Highway, Suite 101. And we are open 9 to 5. I always have one of my assistants there, so you can always come by and drop off shoes for one of our next events. We continue to collect shoes throughout the year. So, yeah.
Awesome. And we do these events about every 3 to 4 months, right? So I hope you continue with us.
Of course,
And because you're making such a huge difference. I could just see the difference, not only in their faces, but like, when someone stands up and they're no longer in pain, and we know that our feet are our balance, right? And they affect every part of our knees, our hips, right? So by preventative care, we're helping alleviate hopefully some other pains down the road, right?
Yep.
Awesome.
Exactly.
When you come out with us and attend to the feet of people experiencing homelessness, how important is it, do you feel, they receive the professional help? And I think we kind of just touched on that subject, but in your experience and with the guests that have come out, and when they get there, after they've taken a shower, gotten new clothing, received a meal, barber, and they get to come over to you and your team, and then they go and get their shoes. How important do you think all those services are for someone who's experiencing homelessness?
I think it gives people like dignity, like feeling that they're like worthy of, being treated with respect and not like no judgment. I think that's really a beautiful thing that Showering Love does, is like a lot of these people, having like a nice clean shower and new clothes, that makes you feel good. And then to have like a provider that like can talk to you about what's going on with your lower extremities and kind of devise a plan without having to go see go to the emergency room, which is like our social safety net. This kind of stuff just keeps people out of the emergency room for minor stuff, and also gets people back on their feet and
So
less pain.
This is why collaborations are so important, right?
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
Sharing Love, tries to bring wraparound services, and you're included in that. We have optometrists, we have
Broward
health,
Yeah.
health and wellness. We have HIV preventative and Hep C preventative medicine that they can get at no cost. Broward Health, as
Yeah.
you said, the health department comes out. We have a company that comes out and offers Narcan. Right? So it's just so important that we all collaborate. We all are, just a different piece to this big puzzle, and everyone is just equally as important. So we can help them, walk that journey to becoming self-sufficient again.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that you guys provide a lot of resources too, like for follow-up care, for their, primary care stuff, all those things. And it's important for us, me as a provider, to, encourage them to see, if I think that when I see a patient that has something that needs to be addressed with the primary care, I've talked to them about the resources and,
And have
getting
you
help.
have some of the guests with Sharing Love? Have you sent them to a new resource or said to follow up on something that you may have seen?
Sure, yeah.
'Cause I haven't.
Yeah. So, because you guys have that relationship with Broward, they have that. They have a free clinic, I believe, and
do.
so, I've had discussions with some of the guests about that. Yeah, because it's important. You need reinforcement, even no matter where you're from. Going to the doctor is scary for a lot of people, so just reinforcing that, it's good to take care of yourself. You got to go, get the full checkup. All that kind of stuff is important.
So empowering them,
Yeah.
supporting them, encouraging them is what I'm hearing about today, right? Is that it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dr. Tine, we want to thank you for joining us in the crusade for health and wellness and helping the underserved population. Your contributions are invaluable. I know we'll see you in a few months.
Yeah.
We want to thank the audience. Thank you for tuning in for Homeless Chronicles. We'll see you next week.